Hi guys, I know I said in a post which I deleted in less than a day that I would probably do a voice reveal, but it feels too hard for me to record my own voice now going over it. So eventually I will, I swear. Now on to the point of the video. Most likely this video will be uploaded just before or at the very beginning of Art Fight, in which I still have lots to do for it. So in this video, I'll be prepping for Art Fight, but I'll be doing it differently from what I normally see. I'll be showing one reference sheet, then I'll show some studies kind of stuff. Without further ado, let's get on to the video. This is my simple reference sheet for my Chimera OC Petunia. I have been struggling for ages to make a reference for her, but I knew I needed to since the only things I've been uploading to her profile some illustrations and doesn't really give much of her fully. So for her lore, she is a Chimera test subject OC, in which has been the first of any test subject to escape the lab, which is a surprise since she is typically shy and not much strong in the eyes of others. But she escapes when she is 15 and in current times she is 20 years old. As you can see in the speed paint, I trace over an image I already had of her. You'll quickly see that later in the video, which I'll explain later on. I tried to make a front and back for her and the tattoo placement, since it's important for if anyone wants to attack her and wants to give a different outfit. I don't have any specific reason for her test subject number being 054, but honestly it might just be an unconscious thought about Royal High, as when you buy an item there's the scanner which you can put numbers in, and I would always put 5 for 8, 9 for no reason. For the alterations in the back view, I just put the flat colors, and didn't really fix much line work since it wasn't really important. I'm happy I finally got this reference completed, since the main problem I have with drawing her is the back of her hair, which I'm glad to get sorted. I tried to write the name in a blocky-like style to match the tattoo. I could have added more info to her, but the only thing that I should have added is her height and sexuality, which is lesbian. This piece is me testing out some colors. Since I found a color palette on Pinterest and used that, I want to make attacks with really cool color choices. So I decided this would be great to practice. I drew my Sona and my OC's Petunia, Sherry and Iris. I do also have a small lore idea for my Sona, since I think it would be fun to give my Sona some lore. So for her, she is an anomaly, which is forced to just live in her own realm. It isn't much, but I like it, and I also have given a name since I wanted to have a name other than my user, and that name is Wisp. We don't need to ask how I got to that. I only noticed after Sherry that I made it like the 4 elements, so I intentionally picked Iris as the last one just so it looks like water, earth, fire, and air. And yes, the Petunia drawing here is the one I used for my reference sheet of her. This is also letting me experiment my style, which I'm glad to do just before Art Fight begins. This one is pretty simple. I chose to do a chibi drawing since I don't really draw Chibis as much, but I do have some characters I want to draw as Chibis. This OC is Elise, who is 7 years old and is in my story where 4 kids find a demon egg and try to hide and take care of a demon that is just as old as them, since the egg was left unfounded for 7 years. Okay, now, this piece is a vlog from Band Dream, and I chose to draw this specific card in my style since I have an album in my photos listed as redraws or in my style, and I chose to do this. I missed out on a lot of details in that, but that wasn't my intention to make it as accurate as possible. I wanted to see how detailed I could make a piece and also how detailed I was able to draw clothing. I haven't given an explanation to Art Fight since it is so close and people are bound to know the whole gist of Art Fight by now. I have some ideas for attacks already in mind and made a Google Doc of a reference image of the character, the name of the character and the ID number of the character. Since this is the 10th year and with there being an extra team this year, I chose to get it sorted on a doc since it's guaranteed that the site will be crashing. I already know exactly what time Art Fight starts for me, so if the site crashes before the timer goes to 0, I still know when to start drawing. I know very well that I will not be able to attack all the characters I bookmarked and plans to attack, since it's almost at 200. To defend myself, there is so many cool and adorable OCs I find from different places such as YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and even the front page of the Art Fight website. I'm much more excited to do Art Fight this year, seeing all the cool OCs. There's some characters or profiles that my friend recommends to me which I bookmarks and absolutely will attack. On to the drawing. Right now, I really like drawing Project Sekai cards or just rhythm game cards in my style, since I feel inspired by those kinds of pieces to make art. Since I love the colors, the sketches and the details in the drawings and in which I can notice as I draw them. I have done this for last year by setting up some goals for Art Fight. One goal I intend to do every year is attack a character whose main color is based on the color of the them I chose for Art Fight. So this year is blue. My other two goals are creating 2 mass attacks and attacking 3 fandom OCs, which I could just kill 2 birds with 1 stone by making my mass attacks based on OCs in existing fandoms. This art piece is also helping me, since I want to put enough effort into an attack to a point in which I think it looks good, but also something in which I don't think I can get art blocked in. I tend to draw a lot, so I can believe I can send in an attack every day since I managed to do around 112 attacks last year. The summer seems to be a busy time for me because of Art Fight, then people's birthdays, and then after Art Fight there's my birthday, so that also help in making me excited since I like events going on and I plan far in advance. This art piece is the most time consuming I've ever had on a piece, taking up 4.5 hours long. I am a pretty fast artist if I say so, as I normally take 1 to 2 hours on my art piece. Now that we have gotten to this part of the video, comment a pink heart emoji, just so I know you have actually gotten this far. And thank you, if you have. I don't think I'll be posting that much in July due to the obvious of Art Fight, but I will try to post whenever I can, as of this part of editing the video. Some new cards for Band Dream have released on the website. I get the photo of the cards from an OMG. I cannot believe they have made a new card for Locke, and it's so adorable. That is the only card I care about out of the new ones, since I am not a fan of summer cards, beach setting art, and rhythm games. The best reason to do it in my style type of drawing is also me trying to replicate types of coloring in the art piece, and gets me to understand how I want things to look to be in my art pieces, and now gets me to consider what part of the process I want to do in the rest of my artworks. The Chibis in the piece are inspired by the Chibis in Toilet Bound Hanako-kun, as I was looking in my art studies folder in Procreate and found when I was studying the proportions of the Chibis and took those studies to make my Chibis. I chose that the Chibis will have basically the same nose, since my main issue with Chibis is wanting to add a nose but it just looking a bit too weird. I really like the face of this drawing and also the Chibi to the right. I am not much of a fan with the Chibi on the left, but I do love the piece in general. What probably helped the piece take long for me is probably me trying to hand draw everything, as you're very likely to tell. I did honestly get super lazy when going further into this piece, since I did in fact just use the bucket tool for majority of the Chibis, then called it a day since I wasn't exactly locked in with the drawing. Making a piece like this makes me enjoy the art style I have, which I really do need since I tend to change my style frequently. Since I'm super inspired to have my art look more like some other artists, since I think their art looks super cool. That is it for the video. Please comment your Art Fight users. I guarantee I'll be looking at them. With all said, have a good morning, afternoon, evening, and night.